Thanks for joining us here on ARC Salt Lake. I'm Brian Schneid. It's Thursday, December 11th. Tonight we're taking a look at Tyler Robinson's first in-person court appearance. Plus, a subject of Utah's missing over the past couple of weeks has been found. We'll get to those stories in just a moment, but first, to your forecast. Meteorologist Sean Kelly here. Sean, I thought about derobing at least the tie because it was 62 degrees today. Would you have approved?
I always approve with no tie here, Brian. I'm approving of this very, very nice weather that we've been dealing with. It's been mild. I mean, it's kind of golf-like weather out there with temperatures into the 60s here. Temperatures right now in the St. George area at 64 for a high, and it's plenty warm down towards the south and west as well. 48 degrees still here this evening with temperatures as we head through the overnight into the 40s under mostly clear skies, and still you could see those temperatures staying pretty warm here, well above normal and well above that freezing mark, with the warm weather continuing on into the weekend, into early next week. But we've got some signs of some changes in about 6 to 7 days with the potential for a storm moving in. We'll talk about that coming up. My first alert weather forecast.
I find that excluding the cameras from the courtroom would be disproportionate for this hearing.
Oh, this is an interesting hearing today. For the first time, Tyler Robinson, the man accused of shooting and killing Charlie Kirk, appeared in a Utah courtroom in person. Robinson got good treatment. He wore a dress shirt and a tie and clothing that the judge allowed after Robinson's attorneys filed a motion. They've been putting in the work for him. For more than an hour, the judge closed the hearing for legal arguments over media restrictions in the case. Basically, they spent a lot of time talking about us today. So Robinson's lawyers said a pool live stream photographer violated a court order to not show Robinson in shackles. This was like a back and forth little match, fiasco today. But Brian Malahi has more from inside the courtroom.
Tyler Robinson swapped jail attire for shirt and tie, as requested by his lawyers and allowed by the judge. He was a virtual defendant until now. Tyler Robinson, in person Thursday, looked like many other young men who dress for occasions, but with one big exception.
It's our understanding that his shackles are visible.
His lawyers say a videographer showed Robinson's restraints in violation of a court order, prompting a defense call to unplug the live stream.
We're asking for it to terminate for today.
The judge refused, but tensions over what you can see in this case will likely continue.
I mean, it was healing but hard at the same time.
Travis Kelly says he was 50 feet away from Charlie Kirk when he was shot and saw Tyler Robinson in court.
If it wasn't for being in the courtroom and everything surrounding it, you wouldn't realize, that he had been accused of assassinating Charlie Kirk.
Kirk's widow, Erica Kirk, calls for transparency in the case with a camera in the courtroom. In Provo, Utah, I'm Brian Malahi reporting.
Well, a camera in the courtroom is common practice for most cases that get a lot of attention in Utah, but outside the courthouse in Provo, security tight for Robinson's first in-person hearing. Leslie Duarte was outside of the courthouse all day. She shows us what it was like and whether the security will continue for future hearings.
Tight security in and around the Provo courthouse today. Armed sheriffs visible on rooftops. Deputies patrolling roads. Crichton Braid, who was at UVU when Charlie Kirk was shot, said he felt the need to be present in the courtroom.
It affected me on a level that I had never experienced before. And I feel that just, being here and witnessing this just feels like a continuation kind of that story or like healing process for me.
I asked him, what did he think of the high level of security in the courthouse?
It makes a lot of sense. I mean, this hearing, this topic, this case, it's known worldwide. So if there was going to be extra show of force, extra police presence, then yeah, it would be here for this. There's a lot of people who are upset with what happened, and so yeah, makes sense.
I also asked, what did he see inside?
There's a lot of armed people in that room. I don't know what branch of the military they're in, but they got a lot of people in there for protection.
Utah County Sheriff's was not available for an interview today, but I talked to them on the phone. They said there will be this level of security every time Robinson is in court. Deputies will be on the rooftops and roads will be closed.
All right, let's take a look at some of the key moments leading up to today. So if we look at the timeline, the shooting at UVU happened around 12:20 in the afternoon on Wednesday, September 10th. I remember that day very well. 2 days later, on Friday, authorities announced that Robinson was in custody for Kirk's shooting and booked him into the Utah County Jail. This was after he made his way into the Washington County Sheriff's Office. On September 16th, Robinson made his initial court appearance where prosecutors announced a list of charges against him, which included aggravated murder, felony discharge of a firearm, obstruction of justice, witness tampering, and a violence offense committed in the presence of a child. They also disclosed that they would be intending to seek the death penalty. October 27th, the judge overseeing Robinson's case ruled he can appear in court wearing civilian clothing. And then today, as you saw this photo, Robinson appeared in court in person for the first time. So just recently, 2 News uncovered a key piece of video that would likely show Tyler Robinson in southern Utah. This video may be missing or was never preserved. So according to the Washington County Sheriff, Robinson turned himself into the sheriff's office less than 48 hours after Charlie Kirk was shot and killed at UVU. The sheriff actually held a press conference to discuss this. We filed numerous record requests to get surveillance video of Robinson walking into the sheriff's office. Both requests were denied. The first was a little specific. The second one was a little bit more generalized. But the second one was after 30 days from the date that he would have turned himself in. The sheriff's office denied the request, saying they don't keep records after 30 days because their surveillance is on a looped recording system. I spoke with a local attorney about this, not affiliated with the case, and I asked him about not preserving the video of Robinson turning himself in.
If in fact it has been destroyed and not preserved, it's very concerning. And if it has, then it's very concerning that they're telling you they don't have it. If they no longer have it, I would have expected to say that this video has been provided to the Utah County law enforcement. Please contact them. But instead, this letter leads, in my opinion, as trying to shut the door and not give you free access to the press.
Yeah, it sounds very familiar to some of the conversations in court today. I made sure to follow up with the Washington County Sheriff's Office asking if they shared the video as any sort of evidence to investigators or attorneys. They told me it was not shared to their knowledge. To watch our full report on this, head to KUTV.com. Lots of you have seen this video on our KUTV YouTube page. And stay with 2 News as we continue to follow this case. Any new developments in court, we hope to be in there, but that's one of the things we're trying to make sure we can do for you, all of you, bring you what happens in the courtroom. Download our 2 News mobile app to get breaking news updates. You can also find our past stories and interviews posted online. Well, just last night we were talking about August Beckwith right here on this show. A family feeling relief tonight, but questions remain. Where was August Beckwith? For weeks, the nonverbal man with autism was missing without a trace. That all changed last night, just after we wrapped up here on the air, around 8:30, when he turned up at the Apollo Burger, 54th South in Taylorsville. His mom, Lori, describes the moment as a relief and says her son is on the road to recovery after a harrowing few weeks. Liv Kelleher has more details from that restaurant where August was found.
A search that started at the University of Utah ended in a Taylorsville Apollo Burger over 15 miles away when a worker noticed a man in distress and called in a wellness check. A short time later, August Beckwith was reunited with his mother, Lori.
There's been a lot of man hours looking for him, and so we were very excited that he was found safe and sound.
24 days ago, August, who is autistic and nonverbal, disappeared on the U's campus. Lori said he was in active psychosis, had no money or phone, and was only wearing thin clothing. A plea from a worried mother brought out volunteers from across the region.
We actually want to thank the community for coming out and helping Lori. I know she's been working effortlessly to find him, and so All the volunteers that came out to help her out, we're very grateful for.
The University of Utah was the lead on the case. They issued a missing endangered persons alert, searched campus buildings, and used drones to survey the surrounding areas. Now that August has been found,
we'll be working with Mom just to kind of iron out those details and see what we can do better. There are certain things we can do to always improve as far as video surveillance, working with the community.
In a Facebook post, Lori also thanked the Salt Lake and Taylorsville police departments for their assistance on August's case.
I have an autistic son too.
She says throughout the ordeal, she was comforted by the kindness of strangers who spent hours knocking on doors, posting signs, calling hospitals and shelters, and walking the streets of Salt Lake City.
Moms just not giving up. That's what another example of what happened here with August Beckwith. Lori did everything and then some to try to find her son. But Liv spoke with August's mother, Lori, over text today. She told her when August was found, he actually had several layers of warm clothing on, boots, and a hat that he did not have when he went missing. She believes that the homeless community of Salt Lake helped out August, and she, quote, owes them a special debt. We first told you about August Beckwith's disappearance during Utah's Missing, right here on ARC Salt Lake. Every Wednesday, we put the spotlight on missing people. We keep the awareness out there. We put our foot on the gas pedal and highlight these cases to help generate new tips. If you have a case you would like to be shared, reach out to us on social media, and I will get right back to you about whatever case you want us to look into. Coming up on ARC Salt Lake, creating winter conditions when winter lags behind. How snow guns make up for a sluggish ski season start. Next. Construction underway on a new visitor center on the east side of Zion National Park. The new facility will include educational opportunities, a new store, play areas. It's all part of a larger renovation designed to enhance the visitor experience. Construction should finish next summer with a projected opening 2027. It's been a rough early start to the ski season for a lot of our resorts. Most of them missed their targeted opening dates because of a lack of storms and checking with our local meteorologist to see if that was a good idea. Snowmaking has also been challenging due to unseasonably warm temperatures, but when it's cold enough, the snow guns get fired up. Lincoln Graves shows us how resorts use those snow guns to complement or supplement, in this case, Mother Nature.
It's certainly not as quiet as snowfall from Mother Nature, but this is still music to Barrett Burkhardt's ears.
You've been in the snowmaking industry for how long?
39 years.
Barrett is the snowmaking manager at Park City Mountain Resort. Because of warm weather, he couldn't really get his equipment going until early December. But then he flipped the switch with the help of a big team.
We run about 12 people per shift, so we have about 50 snowmakers on each side of the mountain.
It's a process that has changed a lot over the years. In Barrett's early days, he'd hike to different parts of a resort with a thermometer just to see if it was cold enough to make snow. Now, technology and automation run the show.
Now you can do everything from a smartphone or from your laptop or your computer, and the guns, most of the guns adjust the quality, so yeah, we have temperature sensors all over the mountain, so we know exactly what the temperatures are all over the mountain, so we know where we can make snow at any given time.
Utah is, of course, known for the greatest snow on Earth. Barrett would always prefer the natural stuff, but he can also tweak his equipment to make different types of snow, from wet to dry.
A lot of the automated stuff, we have settings on from 0 to 10, so you can kind of set the quality for what you want. So like earlier season, maybe you're making a little bit heavier to make a good base, and then later, when you have that good base, you're making lighter, drier snow.
That's the kind everyone likes to ski and snowboard on. But the reality is that any snow will suffice as long as it comes. That's how snowmaking really complements Mother Nature. It can fill in the gaps in between or waiting for big storms.
What did this look like a week ago?
Basically, it just was like grass and dirt.
Were you worried?
I always figure the weather's going to come sooner or later.
And if it doesn't, he just hopes for cold enough temperatures to fire up those snow guns. In Park City, Lincoln Graves, KUTV 2 News.
I've always had a fascination with snowmaking and the storytelling from Lincoln Graves. I always feel like I learned something new. Thank you, Lincoln. I think that this doesn't really help the situation at all.
No storm, and it's also too warm to make snow.
And this is obviously Salt Lake City at the airport, yay, and we're talking about thousands of feet, you know, in terms of elevation change. Still not a big difference.
But I mean, even up in the mountains here, maybe you can go by that 20-degree colder rule. Still pretty warm.
You're not making snow at 42, I'll tell you that.
Even if, you know, some of those higher elevations get to freezing or slightly below freezing, it's only going to be for a few hours in the early morning hours. So the window of opportunity to even make snow just isn't there right now with just how warm it is. But yeah, just incredibly mild. 62 for a high today, 22 degrees above normal, and also tying that record set back in 1993. And it's still pretty warm here across the valley floors. We're into the 40s and 30s. The visibility and the pollution has actually been pretty good. Air quality has been in the green, likely going to move into the orange, yellow categories again today, tomorrow, into the weekend with worsening conditions as the air gets a little bit more stagnant out there. We start to see a little bit more of that pollution collecting with those valley inversions. Where's the cold? Well, look at this. I mean, just incredible. The Midwest, Northern Plains, the Northeast, significantly colder than the Southwest here. This is also where the jet stream is right now, and those storms are riding along it here. You can see the winter storm warnings, watches, advisories in place for many areas except Utah, and you can see those storms following down into the Midwest. As far southward as portions of the Tennessee Valley going to be dealing with snow, and again, us staying dry here, unfortunately, up and down the I-15 corridor. A little bit cloudier up towards the north today, but still, it was wonderful weather I mean, temperature-wise, it's nice. Here's a look at that typical La Nina weather pattern here with the jet stream is up towards the north. It's active into Washington State. That will remain that way here through the next few days. High-pressure system will build in. That'll keep the storms away from us, keep us dry, and keep us warm. But we're starting to see some indications as we get into Wednesday of next week. That jet stream starts to move a little bit further towards the south. It's still west to east, which will bring mild air, but at least it will bring enough moisture to produce our first of hopefully many storms that start to bring some snow back into the mountains of Utah, because those snow levels or the snowpack continues to drop day by day with this warm weather. And right now the Climate Prediction Center is on board that yes, it looks like we'll start to see a major pattern change with more of these storms digging further south in latitude as we get closer towards the end of the month. Still mild, this hasn't changed. But again, this is at least better news for the mountains, and still nowhere in sight any storm here across the valley floor, as though some of the really long range models show that around Christmas Day. So we'll watch out for that. We're in, so that'll be nice, right? We're into 30s for lows, 50s for highs tomorrow. St. George, you've got temperatures here into the 60s as we head into the weekend and into next week. Across the Wasatch Front, we're dealing with temperatures here into the 50s as well. Hazy sunshine through early next week. There's that Wednesday storm, still mild, but again, Brian, about, what are we, close to 2.5 weeks out from Christmas Day. Some of the models are showing maybe a storm there.
You're saying white Christmas is like a legitimate, like something on the ground in a valley area.
It's a possibility. We can't discount it.
I know, it's far out, and I love just like pushing the buttons. Your buttons.
It would make it all worth it if we had a white Christmas. I think all this nonsense right now would be worth it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, better late than never.
That's right.
Early months of 2026. We need like heavy snow action. A lot of storm cycle. All right. Thank you, Sean. We will be right back. Foremost, we should have started the show like this. Congratulations, Sean Kelly, Times Person of the Year. You are on this beam, my friend, somewhere, I think.
I don't think so.
Apparently they did Architects of AI as the Person of the Year. AI is just flooding everywhere you look with the conversation. Time says that 2025 is the year when AI's full potential roared into view. I would have rather seen you up there.
Yeah, well, there's always next year. One of the cover images portrayed 8 tech leaders sitting on a beam resembling the famous photograph of workers eating lunch in a skyscraper back in the 1930s.
Yeah, you could have been up there. Maybe next year. There's always 2026. We're back tomorrow night. We'll see you.